Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing two fragrances from Swiss niche house La Adoni. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've been listening to Google Translate for so long. I'm going to be talking to you about Elenya Azur and Elenya Gold. So if you'd like to know more about these fragrances, then keep watching. First thing, transparency. These were provided to me by Luxury Scent Box to review, and I'm really excited to be working with them specifically on harder to find, harder to acquire, specifically in the States, niche fragrances. This is one of them. I believe you can only really get them through Luxury Scent Box. I think it's almost impossible unless you want to pay exorbitant shipping fees and taxes and duties and whatever you have to pay wherever you're getting it shipped from to get it from Switzerland. So I'm really super duper excited to be able to bring these to you. You guys have asked for more niche, harder to find fragrance reviews, and I'm going to be bringing them to you, so hooray! The light's weird because there's a thunderstorm on the other side of me. It kind of stopped for a few minutes. So my husband and I spent some time setting up the lights that will be set up in my filming room, which is being set up currently. But now the lights are in here so that way you don't see grainy, gray. I don't look like I'm mush because of the gray light, so we added a bit of better lights in here. Okay, so enough of that. Let's get to the review. I'm going to be talking about Azur first, and then I will be talking about Gold. Now both of these are, the nose behind these are Andreas Wilhelm. The notes in this are, let me get them for you. I filmed this video like 6 times, but the thunder just got too much, so I had to wait for it to stop. So I thought I remembered the notes, but I always want to make sure I'm giving you the exact notes and not making things up. The top notes are teak wood, violet, petals, and rose petals with saffron and elemi. The heart notes are sandalwood, oud, balsam, iris, and nutgrass. And the base notes are oakmoss, ambergris, and leather. And that's this. This, if you could quickly describe this, is kind of like an oud rose fragrance. I'm going to break this down really quickly on longevity and projection and just how it develops on my skin, and I'm going to do the same thing for Gold, and at the end I'm going to give you a more in-depth review of both. So what I like about this fragrance is the fact that it is an oud rose combination, and that is one of my favorite combinations of fragrances currently. I just obsessively will buy, if it says oud and rose in it, I will practically blind buy them. I love them. That's why I like this. This is really beautiful. This opens up very spicy, and then it kind of like warms and gets a little bit more woody, which I really, really like. I like the leather in this a lot, and I like the saffron in this a lot. I think that sets it apart from other oud rose combinations, while at the same time being very familiar and very easy to understand. Oud is not a new note to perfumery at all, and it is a recent trend in the West, but it has been around for a very long time. So I love the fact that this is a kind of a little bit different take on the oud fragrances with the leather, and the spicy saffron in this is really, really nice. I've been enjoying this quite a bit. I would say this is more of an evening fragrance and definitely not work or classroom safe. It does have excellent longevity. It does last about 8 to 10 hours on my skin, and it does have really good projection. And since oud is one of those notes, so specifically if you don't like fragrances or can't like stomach fragrances, specifically strong spicy fragrances, I think that this could be distracting or annoying to somebody who doesn't like these fragrances. So if you're in class or at work, I don't think this is work or class appropriate. However, I think this is a ridiculously sexy fragrance and would probably be fantastic for an anniversary, or if you're going on a blind date, or you're going out dancing or to a club or to a bar and you want to make an impression with your fragrance. This will definitely make an impression in a positive, sexy way. Man or woman, doesn't matter. Love this for that. It's a very sexy fragrance. I like it a lot. But let's go to Gold. This is the one I was most excited about, and when I read the notes, we'll see if you can guess why. The top notes of this are black orchid, bergamot, lemon flowers, and cardamom. The heart notes are milk foam, nutgrass, white woods, and iris, and the base notes are sandalwood, musk, vetiver, satinwood, and coconut. Can you guess why I was excited? If you guessed coconut, you're correct. Coconut is one of the notes and fragrances that I don't talk about a lot because it's hard to find in fragrances where it's done nicely and not gimmicky. It's kind of like chocolate. I love chocolate fragrances, but most of the time they're really gimmicky. And when you find a really good chocolate fragrance, you get really excited. And this is the same thing with coconut. This fragrance to me opens up very strongly of like a heavy, sweet, syrupy floral. Very heavy of the orchid, and as much as I love the orchid note in this, it kind of overpowers everything else. So the beauty of this fragrance is in the dry down. The dry down is where you start to get more of those beautiful woods and musks. It's where you get a little bit more brightness from the bergamot, a little bit more spice from the cardamom, and this is where the coconut really shines. And it doesn't shine in like a gimmicky, trying to be tropical suntan lotion like pina colada-esque kind of flavoring. It's a ingredient and note to be taken seriously in this fragrance. It's lovely. It adds a bit of a fruitiness to this, a bit of a nuttiness to this, and overall smooths everything out for it to be just really like delicious. But again, not in like a gourmand delicious kind of way, just kind of like in a really beautifully smooth, semi-aquatic but not aquatic fragrance. And I really enjoy this fragrance a lot because of the coconut. There is a bit of a creaminess to this, again, maybe the milk foam, but I have a feeling that that is also, again, because of the coconut. But it's not heavy, of just being kind of like this bright, but also like deeply smooth, sweet experience. It is on the sweet side, but it also has the nice vetiver and musk aspect to this that definitely cuts through the sweetness and makes this a little bit more complex than just, oh my gosh, here's another gimmicky, run-of-the-mill, sweet unisex fragrance. There we go. Oh, you got some wood in it. Good for you. Definitely sets this part as something a little bit more unique, but still easy to understand. And again, I think the uniqueness of this and the creaminess of this and the sweetness of this, the nuttiness of this and the brightness of this comes from the coconut mixed with the milk, mixed with the bergamot, mixed with the cardamom and the woods and musk. So this is really well put together fragrance, and I've really been enjoying this a lot. I get a little bit less longevity on this. I get about 6 hours, but I get about the same projection. But since this is a little bit more easy to understand, less oud and more ingredients that people are familiar with, I would say this is work and class appropriate. Which is really, really nice, which makes this very versatile. Now, overall, my thoughts of each of these fragrances are that they're not terribly unique. You've probably smelled them before, but what they do very well. The rose oud combination, I think, has a beautiful texture, and I'm going to say texture when it comes to spice, because to me, whenever I smell anything spicy, I kind of think of like tingling or like little needle pricks, but in a positive way, like pins and needles, but in a positive way. Does that make sense? I love when fragrances add kind of like other sensations when you wear them or when you smell them, and that's what I get a lot with the Azur, Elenya Azur, specifically from the leather and the saffron. Now, if you guys want to know if there's anything comparable to this out there, I would say check out the flanker from Victor & Wolf, Rose Explosion. It does remind me a lot of this because of the saffron that has saffron and rose too, but that is way more feminine because of the flower bomb DNA. This is a little bit more unisex and can, I think, if you tend to like more masculine or unisex fragrances and steer clear of feminine fragrances, you'd like this one a lot, because I feel like this is a true unisex fragrance rather than other rose fragrances which can go on the jammy side and get a little bit too sweet, and people might assume that that's more of a feminine fragrance. Again, fragrances are genderless, anyone can wear them. I'm just talking about how fragrances are marketed and people's taste based on how fragrances are marketed and what usually smells in that category. Now, when we go to Gold, Gold to me is the opposite. It's a unisex fragrance, but to me it leans a little bit more on the masculine side. It does have that sweetness and that creaminess from the coconut and the milk foam, but the cardamom and the little bit of nuttiness that you also get from the coconut kind of warms it up and smooths it out. It's a very smooth fragrance. I say that one would be appropriate evening in the summer or daytime during autumn and winter if you live in colder areas. I think it would be a great way to kind of remind yourself of like vacation and beaches and warm weather while still being very appropriate in cold weather, because it is a little bit on the heavier side and it is very smooth. I think it is also a terribly sexy fragrance, but it's kind of more of a professional fragrance than the rose oud. The rose oud is more in your face, or the Azur is more in your face sexy, and this is more of like a distinguished, sophisticated sexy. But it's not dated at all, which is really, really nice as well. And I do love the coconut aspect in it. Does set it apart from other fragrances that might have a lot of the same notes in it as well. Overall, I really enjoyed these fragrances. They did not let me down. I'm glad I was finally able to get my hands on them and try them. And I think if I were to choose my favorite out of the bunch, I really think I love Gold. I think it's because the coconut is just something I don't see in a lot of fragrances, and when I find it, I get so excited. And so I was just so excited to find a really good coconut fragrance that is not a coconut fragrance. It's not like, oh my gosh, this is coconut, oh my gosh, this is gimmicky. It's just the coconut works so beautifully with the other wood notes and the other notes in that fragrance that it just shines in all the right ways. So if you're looking for a really nice fragrance like that, definitely check out Gold. But overall, they're both fantastic fragrances, fantastic quality, and I've just been really happy I was able to finally get my hands on them. If you guys are interested in checking out Luxury Scent Box, I will link their site below, and I will also link a coupon code I have if you guys want to save a few bucks and free shipping for new members. As always, you guys feel free to not use my coupon codes if you do not want to. It is entirely up to you. Support any other YouTuber out there that you wish, or don't use them. It's fine, but I am providing it for you if you guys want. As always, if you guys like these videos and these fragrance reviews, remember to give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing videos like this. And also don't forget to subscribe, because it's free and I'm free. And I put out new videos every Monday through Friday, and sometimes on the weekends as well. So I'll always have something for you to watch. I'm sorry for the lighting and the quality of the video. I know it's going to be a little bit grainy, but thunderstorms. But as always, I hope you guys are all happy and healthy and have a great day, month, year, whatever, and I will see you next time. Bye. I don't know why I'm doing that.